I'm Bo Chilton, CEO of Impact Community Action, and I want to welcome each and every one of you here to Impact. Our mission is to fight poverty by providing hope-inspiring help and real opportunities for self-sufficiency. We envision a community that creates opportunities for every resident to prosper. We are honored to host Mayor Ginther and our city leaders as they unveil the 2026 city operating budget. A budget that will shape the stability and safety of families across Columbus. I would like to thank Mayor Ginther and the City of Columbus for their investment in the Empowered program. To date, we've graduated 95 young adults who are preparing for careers in the construction and clean energy field. Today, we have our current class of 24 here with us. Please stand and be recognized. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate y'all taking that moment. I almost didn't want to sit down. But thank you, City of Columbus. Because of your investment in the partnership with AEP, we were able to create a workforce program that is making a real difference in our community. At Impact, we believe safety and stability aren't just policy goals. They are foundational to human dignity. When a neighbor walks through our doors, they're not just seeking assistance, they're seeking a sense of security, a moment to breathe, a pathway forward. And every day, our team stands ready to meet people where they are, often in their most vulnerable moments. Let me take a moment to thank all of my staff who are here. Please stand and be recognized, staff. Being safe at Impact means knowing you are seen, heard, and respected. It means that when someone is facing crisis, whether it's the threat of losing their home, struggling to keep the utilities on, or simply needing to navigate a difficult situation, they have a trusted place to turn. For thousands of households each year, Impact is that safe place. Being stable means having the tools, resources, and opportunities to move beyond crisis. It's about not just keeping the lights on today, it's about gaining the skills, supports, and connections that help a family chart a more secure tomorrow. Whether through rental assistance, workforce development, emergency energy support, financial empowerment, or other stabilization programs, we work alongside our community to build that bridge towards long-term stability. Our mantra is simple: make crisis temporary and stability possible. This work does not happen in isolation. It happens through strong partnerships, and the City of Columbus has been one of the most essential. Mayor Ginther's commitment to investing in neighborhoods, in safety, and the economic mobility of our residents aligns deeply with Impact's mission. When the city prioritizes equitable access to resources, it helps ensure that every resident, regardless of zip code, circumstance, or background, has a fair chance to thrive. Today isn't just a budget announcement, it's a statement of values. It says every family deserves dignity, every resident deserves safety, and every resident deserves the chance to prosper. Thank you for being here with us today, and thank you, Mayor Ginther and the city officials, for your leadership and for your investment in the people of Columbus. We are proud to partner with the City of Columbus because when the city invests in people, families grow stronger, neighborhoods grow safer, and our entire community moves forward together. Now I'd like to welcome one of our partners who was in the battle with us on the emergency rental assistance, a program that I was very proud of. Here at Impact, we served over 40,000 people. We kept over 40,000 people safe during the pandemic. We distributed over $132 million, again, to keep people safe in their homes. And one of our strongest partners is from Compass. Please welcome Mary from Compass.
Thank you and good morning, everyone. My name is Mary Mutegi. I serve as the Director for Campus at Broad Street Presbyterian Church. I'm deeply honored to be here this morning to acknowledge our long-standing partnership with the City of Columbus and also to express our sincere gratitude for the continued investment in housing stabilization. For 43 years, Campus has stood as a steadfast pillar of support for Columbus residents facing housing crisis. We provide essential rental and utility assistance to those families to help them remain safely housed. Each month, our team responds to almost 1,500 requests for help through the walk-ins, our phone calls, emails, and referrals from community partners, most of you that are here today. The Homeless Prevention Network and Housing Resource Specialist Evaluation Report that just was published in October confirmed that Campus was top in housing as a housing provider in the network during the 2024 fiscal year. We assisted over 373 households. Without this support, which was funded by the Emergency Rental Assistance Funds, many of these families would have faced the devastating reality of homelessness. This report clearly shows that the city's strategy is working and that together we're making a measurable difference in keeping residents stably housed. In addition, Campus has been privileged to assist in the relocation efforts for residents displaced by mass evictions due to code violations. Those experiences have strengthened our belief in the importance of prevention measures, such as rental registry, which we fully support as a tool to promote safe, stable, and equitable housing for all. Even as the economic challenges continue to create great need in our community, we are encouraged and grateful that the City of Columbus continue to step up to ensure that thousands of our neighbors receive the support they need to stay in their homes. We also are excited that we are part of the new Resilient Housing Initiative that will continue to support these challenges in this community. Columbus has become a national leader in housing stabilization, and with the city's continued strong leadership, I'm confident that together we'll keep serving our neighbors in crisis with empathy, grace, and understanding. Thank you, Mayor Ginther, for your partnership, your leadership, and unwavering commitment to building a safer, more stable, and stronger Columbus. Thank you again. And I have the honor to welcome John from Community for New Directions.
Good morning, everyone. Let me start with thanking the mayor. Listening to Bo, listening to Mary, the mayor is funding stability throughout the needs of Franklin County, Columbus citizens. I'm John Dawson, President, CEO of Community for New Direction, known as C&D. In our work with adults living with mental illness and substance use disorder, safety and stability are achieved when they are managing their illness through medication and therapy, through having safe housing, and can eat every day. In our work with kids, 5 to 18 years old, safety and stability is when we pick kids up from school, take them to one of our offices, feed them, facilitate alcohol, tobacco, other drugs, and violence prevention work. Then we take them home to their parents, to a safe environment, where what we've actually done is just bridged Columbus City Schools, parents, and C&D. So it's a safe pathway. We provide homework help with them. This bridge can be between C&D, the school, and the parents. This is safety and stability, safe passage home. Sometimes C&D is the only consistency that these children have. In our work with youth and young adults in our Violence Intervention Program, one program funded by the city, very important to our mayor, we teach them how to stay safe, build stability by utilizing human resources available to them. Those human resources start with our staff. Our violence intervention team is comprised of 6 passionate individuals who work daily to create a safe and stable environment for youth of Columbus. We do this through daily interaction at schools, at home, and in the community. We teach them coping skills, life skills, and the importance of education. We believe that genuine interaction, we develop relationships that build trust. We also believe that we cannot be a change agent without trust. We receive referrals from principals, guidance counselors, safety and security officers, children's services, juvenile courts, and other relevant agencies, to mention just a few. We work in high schools with high violence rates to help youth feel safe. We help resolve conflicts before they escalate and run into our streets. We participate in safe passage walks from school to bus stops to the library, all things that make our youth feel safe and stable. We recently hosted 2 separate events, Barbershop Talks and Salon Chronicles, both of which were very successful. Historically, barbershops and salons are places where people tend to feel safe and talk. Through these activities, we created a safe environment for both young men and young women to share their experiences. We had men and women who had shared living experiences share how they overcame some of the struggles that our youth face today. It was awesome to see the response of the youth. It was obvious that they were in a place with people they trusted. They were no longer those tough images that we sometimes see on the news. The youth in response shared some of the struggles they face and then listened to feedback from the adult speakers. Afterwards, we broke bread, hugged, dapped, and talked about doing this again. On those evenings, they were safe and stable. C&D has already organized a partnership with Linden Recreation Center, Chavot, Adorn Salon, and the Elite Barbershop to host an all-day event during spring break, Columbus City Schools in 2026. I'd like to thank the mayor again for all his support in C&D programming. Without that support, we wouldn't be as effective as we are in reaching the young people that need our help so desperately. Thank you, Mayor, and I now have the honor of introducing our mayor to the podium.
Good morning. What a great morning here at Impact Community Action. Thank you, Bo, for hosting us, and Mary and John for those incredibly important words and testimonials about some of the investments we've made. The federal government has reopened, but your city government never shut down. We keep showing up and delivering for the people of Columbus, and this Empower crew. I'm very impressed about what you're doing, how you're moving, and the bright futures you're building. I'm so excited you're here. A little cheat sheet. I think most of you might have a card that you can scan and check out some more details about the city budget. I'm going to bore you with a bunch of details this morning, but you can check my work by scanning this QR code. But today we gather to introduce the 2026 City of Columbus operating budget. We're fortunate that our city is large and growing, and we have an operating budget to match that. The proposal I'm putting before you totals $1.26 billion, a little larger than last year, but for all intents and purposes, it is a continuation budget. We find ourselves in a time of uncommon political and financial uncertainty. Things are happening in Washington, in the State House, and in our economy that require us to proceed with an extra degree of caution. In preparing this budget for the year ahead, my typical optimism is tinged with a degree of concern. I like to say the sun is always rising in Columbus. And while our operating budget is shaded by a few clouds on the horizon, there is one very bright ray of sunshine that we must address. Columbus came out to the polls on November 4th and overwhelmingly agreed that we need to invest in ourselves. So I want to thank the voters of Columbus again for showing up and owning our future by choosing to invest in our neighborhoods, our infrastructure, creating jobs, and putting people to work. I'm tremendously grateful to Columbus voters for supporting the $1.9 billion bond package we put forward in issues 5 through 9. The bond package will help us build affordable housing, recreation centers, parks, police, fire stations, safe streets, and provide healthy, clean drinking water to our community. This investment is historic and will allow us to keep building the infrastructure we need to support a growing city in ways that will help us stay healthy, keep our neighborhoods safe, and bring everyone along in our city's success. So, as we look to the future together, let us build on this momentum with a shared sense of responsibility and commitment to one another. The budget I'm placing before you today is a $1.26 billion plan to keep Columbus strong, resilient, and ready for tomorrow. It's a budget that funds the city's core services and supports the men and women who keep our city running. This 2026 budget provides support for our firefighters and police officers who are working to make our city the safest it's ever been. Operation of our pools, parks, and rec centers so everyone has access to green space, fitness, and enrichment opportunities. Funding for city employees who will build, repair, and redesign our streets, bridges, and bikeways to get us where we're going and to bring dangerous traffic crashes down to zero. Collection of trash and recycling so we can keep Columbus neighborhoods beautiful, clean, and safe. And importantly, this budget lends a helping hand to our Columbus neighbors who have fallen on hard times. As we make these historic investments, we must be realistic about the challenges surrounding us. Even with the federal shutdown on its way to an end, the disruption in Washington continues to affect our neighbors whose SNAP payments have been impacted this month. A week ago, I brought the city together with our county commissioners, Columbus City Schools, the nonprofit sector, and the faith community to do what we could to bridge the gap that was created because the federal government wasn't doing its job, to feed more than 180,000 Franklin County residents who rely on SNAP benefits. I'm grateful that we're able to collectively mobilize more than $3 million in support for our children, seniors, people with disabilities, and others who rely on SNAP. Unfortunately, though, they're not the only ones whose family budgets are being squeezed right now. Nationwide, a household dollar just isn't going as far as it used to, whether it's for food, for rent, for health care. As I alluded to earlier, inflation is hitting our city budget too. I'm proud to say that we have always invested in our people, even in challenging times. But wages at the city are outpacing income tax growth, and that put pressure on this budget. And like every other large employer, the cost of providing health insurance to city employees is rising faster than ever before. And while the days of federal COVID relief dollars are over, we're seeing human service needs that are higher than they were before the pandemic. Needs like hunger, housing instability, and homelessness. but we no longer have the benefit of those federal dollars to help people through hard times. For these reasons, the new budget requires both compassion and caution. We're exercising spending discipline at the city, just like Columbus families are showing at their own dinner tables, stretching dollars while protecting what matters most. The city is fortunate. We have enough to go around without considering a single layoff. But we're going to have to be cautious about new hiring, moderate in wage growth, and mindful of what we commit to our community partners. Our goal isn't to do less. It is to do what matters most in an efficient and sustainable way. I bring all my years of city leadership to bear to craft a budget that stretches our dollars and keeps Columbus residents safe, stable, and thriving. When we talk about those families trying to stretch their budgets, too many are coming up short, choosing between absolute necessities like utilities, food, and rent. Right now, more than 20% of renters in Franklin County are paying at least half of their income just to keep a roof over their heads. That means far too many people are one unexpected bill away or an expense away from losing their home. That's why, for the first time in the city's history, this budget will include $6.5 million for a new resilient housing initiative that I'm introducing today. Thanks to the advocacy of the Women's Commission and the work of our Office of Housing Stability, for the first time, we're going to use City of Columbus dollars. We'll invest in programming focused on homelessness prevention, not just emergency response. The initiative builds on what we learned from the Federal Emergency Rental Assistance Program that Bo and Mary talked about that was created during the pandemic. Through that program, and with the help of many great partners like Bo and Mary, Columbus distributed $98 million in federal aid to help more than 33,000 households, to help them stay safely housed. Now that those federal dollars have come to an end, we are going to have to continue to step up locally to keep the momentum going. The Resilient Housing Initiative will seek to help families earlier in the process with $5 million in flexible support to cover rent, utilities, or other unexpected costs. This funding will also help provide professional support and connections to help keep people housed and strengthen their long-term stability. We've also set aside $1.5 million for Columbus Legal Aid and a social worker at municipal court to continue to support folks who find themselves in eviction court. Data tells us that for every dollar our community invests in preventing homelessness, we'll save up to $6 in shelter, emergency services, and other economic impacts. The math is simple, but the impact is profound. When we keep people housed, we keep families together, and our city stronger. That's what I mean when I say this budget is focused first and foremost on safety and stability. And when we turn to public safety, we're incredibly blessed to say that violent crime in our city is on a strong, strong decline. Homicides are down 35% from last year. Felonious assault cases are down 22%. Non-fatal shootings are down 26%. Car thefts are down 18%. Burglary is down 15%. And felony theft is down 11%. And the Columbus Division of Police homicide solve rate is at an impressive 79% for 2025. Some great news. Now let's be clear. One homicide is too many. One shooting, one car break-in is too many. But this is incredible progress in the right direction that we should be very proud of and grateful for. It's a testament to the work of Chief Bryant and her team at the Division of Police and all of the men and women who wear the uniform in our community. These partnerships and collaborations with partners like Mothers of Murdered Children Columbus, it's a testament to the work of the Office of Violence Prevention and of our comprehensive neighborhood safety strategy, and of innovative programs and investments within CPD, like the non-fatal shooting pilot program that Chief Bryant and I introduced to you yesterday. Public safety is the largest investment in this operating budget again this year, coming in at nearly $852 million for our police, firefighters, EMS workers, our 911 call center operators, and more. This budget also funds programs like Columbus Police Project Moonlight and Summer Safety Initiative, which generated incredible results this year, not just in arrests and citations, but in community engagement and trust building as well. Through Project Moonlight, Columbus police officers spent more than 9,000 hours on walk and talks with our residents and reported more than 28,000 positive city contacts. Under the Summer Safety Initiative, police made another 45,000 city contacts, conducted 188 community events, worked more than 1,000 hotspots, executed 69 search warrants, and made more than 300 felony and 140 misdemeanor arrests. And yesterday, I got to share with you the results of a remarkably successful pilot that Chief Bryant launched in Zone 6. Under this pilot, a non-fatal shooting in Linden in Milo Grogan was treated with the same investigative intensity as a homicide. This program has netted nearly 500 arrests in 18 months and seeing a case closure rate of 76%. Innovative collaborative programs like these are pushing Columbus crime rates in the right direction. They're keeping our neighborhoods, our families, our children safer. And I can't think of a more crucial place to invest our community resources. Programs like these will be continued under this 2026 operating budget. But there is one place where we're seeing the numbers move in the wrong direction, and it is troubling. Domestic violence homicides among romantic partners, among fathers and grown sons, and among parents, very young children, is on the rise. In all of 2024, 24 Columbus homicides were linked to domestic violence, accounting for 17% of the homicides. In 2025, 25 homicides have been linked to DV, accounting for 35% of the homicides this year. This is unacceptable. We must do better as a community. And this budget contains $3.7 million to turn this scourge and this tide. This includes funding for the Batterers Intervention Program, the Advocacy Crisis Team, also called ACT-DV, and for the Domestic Violence and Stalking Program operated out of the City Attorney's Office to stop this trend in its tracks. In my tenure as your mayor, we've been on a long and important journey toward improving trust in our systems and fighting crime together. We have a lot to be proud of, and still a lot to do. One journey that this budget will help to continue is our work to deploy the right resources in time of mental health crisis. Much like our community chose to invest in ourselves and our future through last week's bond package, they also strongly supported Adam H's levy, including the new Crisis Care Center. This budget takes it a step further. By dedicating $1 million in new funding for alternative crisis response, we'll provide our Right Response Unit with an additional clinician embedded in our 911 call center to help evaluate the right ways to support an individual in crisis. This will bring us up to 11 full and part-time clinicians assisting our police when they respond to these situations. That $1 million will also cover a non-police response team of 5 people who will collaborate with our mobile crisis response team to provide assistance with behavioral health non-police responses. With referrals coming from 911, the Right Response Unit and the Mobile Crisis Response Team, they'll go on calls for low acuity mental health calls that don't require a police officer. And there's one more special team member joining this effort. Our funding will dedicate a therapy dog to ride along with our mobile crisis response team to de-escalate critical mental health clients that we're serving. We'll also create an alternative response advisory panel made up of industry professionals who will advise our departments of public health and public safety on proven and emerging alternative response practices. In 2026, we'll also continue to cultivate investment in our neighborhoods through the Clean and Safe corridor program we introduced last year. During our rapid resource deployments along Parsons, Sullivan, Livingston, and High Street corridors this year, we made 46 arrests, recovered 15 firearms, worked 248 311 complaints, collected 54 tons of trash, installed 368 street signs, spent 370 hours patching potholes, and showed our neighbors and business owners along these corridors that we value and support them, not just with words, but with action and investment. And we'll continue in our city's future to invest in our young people. This budget sets aside $16.7 million for programs that keep our young people safe and engaged during the summer months. Recently, my team heard a story from the Columbus Metropolitan Library about Tyrone Black, Columbus High School senior. Tyrone spent the last 2 summers participating in the library's community intern program, which was supported by one of the city's summer youth program grants. They told us that for Tyrone, the experience has been nothing short of transformative. Libraries, opening his eyes to how libraries serve as vibrant centers for learning, connection, and community. Through his internship, Tyrone discovered that the library is, quote, so much more than books. He learned how the library system brings people together, provides free resources for all ages, and plays a vital role in strengthening neighborhoods. As part of the program, Tyrone met professionals from the library's branches, including the chair of the Board of Trustees, which left Tyrone inspired and motivated to pursue new opportunities. Reflecting on his experience, Tyrone said the internship taught him invaluable lessons about leadership, problem solving, and community engagement. He shared that the program not only built his confidence and professional skills, but also deepened his appreciation for public service. Even though we're talking dollars and cents today, you can't put a price tag on that. Ultimately, that's what this budget is about: opportunity, stability, and safety for everyone. Safety and stability. It's the most basic promise that a city government makes to its people, and my most solemn commitment to you once again for 2026. Like our families making tough spending decisions, there are still a few places where I'd like to invest more, but can't commit just yet. Amidst the federal shutdown and with national economic conditions remaining shaky, Auditor Megan Kilgore has been understandably measured with her income tax revenue projection for 2026. Auditor Kilgore has estimated that in 2026 we'll have $1.26 billion to go around. And I'm optimistic we can end this year in an even healthier position, meaning we might be able to fund additional priorities. If that happens to be the case, I would like to increase our investments in a couple of key places. First, additional dollars toward the Resilient Housing Initiative and for the Community Shelter Board, beyond what's already proposed today. Second, to increase our 2026 police recruit classes from 2 classes to 3. And third, to support new programs that will help make the time of our EMS first responders and firefighters go further. Programs like a nurse triage line that can help 911 callers assess if they need to head to an urgent care instead of dispatching an ambulance. I'm hopeful we can close out 2025 in a strong position and make these additional investments. I'm also optimistically awaiting the recommendations of the FRAC, which is the Funding Review Advisory Committee, which has been meeting since April to assess how the city and county can update our public funding models to pay for community priorities, including human services, cultural arts, and tourism. I look forward to reviewing their recommendations and assessing how we may implement them to stretch our community resources even further. But for now, this budget is about safety, stability, and every penny will matter. I look forward to partnering with Columbus City Council to move this budget forward, with our focus tightly honed on what matters most. I intend and commit to keep our community's progress going so everyone can benefit from safe neighborhoods, from a stable and secure place to call home, and from a city that invests in your future. So with that, I'd be happy to take any questions from the press. I'll also stick around if you guys prefer to do one-on-ones, but happy to take any questions. Stick around, or you guys got it? Okay. We'll just do one-on-ones, is that all right? Thanks, everybody. Thanks again, Bo, for hosting.